Welcome to the SQN Top 10 ranking. For the first time you join in the program, please subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment your opinion with everyone. Today, join us to learn about the top 10 most beautiful bays in the world. Admire the beauty of the bays that nature has bestowed. Now, let's get started. Fundy. The Bay of Fundy is a bay between the Canadian provinces of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, with a small portion touching the U.S. state of Maine. It is an arm of the Gulf of Maine. Its tidal range is the highest in the world. The story of the Fundy Basin begins about 200 million years ago in the early Jurassic, when all land on Earth was part of a supercontinent called Pangaea. At that time what is now the Maritimes was situated near the equator and had a warm tropical climate and lush vegetation. As continental drift reshaped the world, rift valleys formed, including the Cobequid-Chedabucto fault system. The Bay of Fundy mudflats are a rare and unique intertidal habitat. Major mudflats are found on around the Maringahan Peninsula, which lies between Shepody Bay and the Cumberland Basin, and at the northern end of Chignecto Bay. On the Nova Scotia side, mudflats are found on the southern side of the Minas Basin and in Cobequid Bay. In the Minas Basin, the size of the mudflats from low to high water marks is as much as 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles. Due to tidal turbulence, the water in these areas contains very high amounts of fine sediment, source from tidal erosion of Carboniferous and Triassic sedimentary rock. The bay is a member of the Global Geoparks Network, a UNESCO initiative to promote and conserve the planet's geological heritage. The bay has a dynamic and diverse ecosystem, famous for its coastal rock formations. The bay is also home to rare right whales and one of the most extensive vegetation areas in the world. Misty. Misty Bay is located in southern Alaska. Large yachts cannot pass through this narrow bay with many steep cliffs. However, visitors can kayak to explore this bay, although tides and occasional winds can rock the boat. Misty Bay is a small bay with many steep and dangerous cliffs, strong winds, and tides that rise and fall rapidly during the day. However, that is what creates the unique and majestic beauty of this bay. Although it is not possible to explore the bay by large yachts, visitors can row a canoe to visit and explore the magnificent scenery of Misty Bay. It is a bay with beautiful scenery of Alaska. The narrowest part of the bay is less than 800 meters, with cliffs on both sides more than 900 meters high and spectacular waterfalls. In summer, visitors can spot eagles, seals, bears and whales here, with unique vistas of stunning rugged coastlines, majestic mountains, towering cliffs, waterfalls cascading down to the ocean, the emerald waters of the fjords, the largest iceberg in Alaska, and the collapse of the glaciers, makes Misty Bay even more interesting. It seems that no one can resist seeing the abundance of different living creatures here, such as whales, sea lions, seals, otters and other animals on the bay. Antarctica. Antarctica Bay in Antarctica is one of the most beautiful bays in the world today, also known as Paradise Bay. The bay is surrounded by towering snowy mountains and ice-covered cliffs. This is also home to more than 400 penguins. Visitors can use the yacht to cruise around the bay to enjoy the beauty. Antarctica Bay is surrounded by small icebergs, creating an extremely beautiful scene. More specifically, because this is where penguins live, when you come to this bay, you will easily see extremely adorable penguins. Paradise Bay is one of two places that can be used by yachts to go out to sea. Surrounding the bay are mountains eroded by glaciers and cliffs always covered with snow and ice, reflecting in the mirror-clear water of the bay. Visitors can easily see one penguin anywhere in this area. Paradise Bay is currently one of the most visited tourist destinations in Antarctica. The most popular activities to enjoy the Antarctic paradise here are sailing on the sea among icebergs, taking photos of the birthplace, penguin life. To admire this strange beauty, you can try rowing a rubber boat by a group of Chilean Antarctic penguin researchers. Phang Nga. Phang Nga Bay is a 400 square kilometers, 150 square miles, bay in the Andaman Sea between the island of Phuket and the mainland of the Kra Isthmus of southern Thailand. Since 1981, an extensive section of the bay has been protected as the Ao Phang Nga National Park. Phang Nga Bay Marine National Park was declared a protected Ramsar site, No. 1185, of international ecological significance on 14 August 2002. Phang Nga is a shallow bay with 42 islands, comprising shallow marine waters and intertidal forested wetlands. With at least 28 species of mangrove, seagrass beds and coral reefs are also present, at least 88 bird species, including the globally threatened Malaysian plover, Charadrius perroni, and Asiatic dowitcher, Limnodromus semipalmatus, can be found within the site, as well as 82 fish species, 18 reptiles, 3 amphibians, and 17 mammal species. These include the dugong, a vulnerable species, white-hand gibbon, Hylobates lar, the endangered serow, Capricornus sumatrensis, and the black finless porpoise, Neophocina phocinoides. The most famous of the many islands in the bay may be the pair of Khao Phing Khan and Koh Ta Pu, the so-called James Bond Island. In the 1974 movie The Man with the Golden Gun, a number of diverse cultures coexist in local communities, which practice fishing, harvesting nipa palm fronds for thatch, and catering to an international tourist presence drawn both by the natural beauties and by the archaeological sites, which have paintings more than 1,000 years old. Halong. Halong Bay is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and popular travel destination in Quang Ninh Province, Vietnam. The name Halong means descending dragon. Administratively, the bay belongs to Halong Ba City and is a part of Van Don District. The bay features thousands of limestone karsts and islets in various shapes and sizes. Halong Bay is a center of a larger zone that includes Bai Tu Long Bay to the northeast, and Cat Ba Island to the southwest. These larger zones share a similar geological, geographical, geomorphological, climate, and cultural characters. Halong Bay has an area of around 1,553 square kilometers, 600 square miles, including 1,969 islets, most of which are limestone. The core of the bay has an area of 334 square kilometers, 129 square miles, with a high density of 775 islets. The limestone in this bay has gone through 500 million years of formation in different conditions and environments. The geodiversity of the environment in the area has created biodiversity, including a tropical evergreen biosystem and a seashore biosystem. Halong Bay is home to 14 endemic floral species and 60 endemic faunal species. The islands on Halong Bay have their own shapes, unlike any other islands on the coast of Vietnam, and no island is the same. Visiting Halong Bay, visitors will enjoy the worldly beauty of the majestic, watercolor paintings of the mountains, sea and islands. Manila. Manila Bay is a natural harbor that serves the port of Manila, on Luzon, in the Philippines. Strategically located around the capital city of the Philippines, Manila Bay facilitated commerce and trade between the Philippines and its neighboring countries, becoming the gateway for socio-economic development even prior to Spanish occupation. With an area of 1,994 square kilometers, 769.9 square miles, and a coastline of 190 kilometers, 118.1 miles, Manila Bay is situated in the western part of Luzon and is bounded by Cavite and Metro Manila on the east, Bulacan and Pampanga on the north, and Bataan on the west and northwest. Manila Bay drains approximately 17,000 square kilometers, 6,563.7 square miles of watershed area, with the Pampanga River contributing about 49% of the freshwater influx. With an average depth of 17 meters, 55.8 feet, it is estimated to have a total volume of 28.9 billion cubic meters, 28.9 cubic km. Entrance to the bay is 19 kilometers, 11.8 miles, wide and expands to a width of 48 kilometers, 29.8 miles. The islands of Corregidor and Caballo divides the entrance into two channels. The entrance to Manila Bay are several islands, the largest of which is Corregidor, located 3 kilometers from Bataan and, along with the island of Caballo, separates the mouth of the bay into the north and south channels. In the south channel is El Fraile Island, and outside the entrance, and to the south, is Carabao Island. Manila Bay is a resort center for Metro Manila residents and a popular place for strolling and enjoying the beautiful scenery. People have also carried out many projects on reclaimed land of Manila Bay, typically the Philippine Parliament or Asian Mall. Nairoy. Nairoy Bay, Norway, is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world recognized by UNESCO. Nairoy is considered one of the most beautiful and wildest parts of Sognefjord. To enjoy the beauty here, tourists for many years have chosen yachts for their memorable journeys. The Kingdom of Norway is a constitutional monarchy in Northern Europe, occupying the western part of the Scandinavian peninsula. The country borders Sweden, Finland, and Russia. The main attraction of the Sognefjord area is of course its God-given natural beauty. Sognefjord possesses spectacular natural phenomena, with the widest and narrowest of bays or verdant valleys, towering blue mountains and glaciers. You can also find anything from isolated mountain farms to quaint, picturesque orchard villages and modern towns. Nairoy. Gudvangen Stations. Coming here, you will go to the heritage area of the fjord. See water pouring down from waterfalls on high mountains touching the clouds, or feel the peaceful life of picturesque villages. Draw. Bay of Islands. The Bay of Islands is an area on the east coast of the far north district of the North Island of New Zealand. It is one of the most popular fishing, sailing and tourist destinations in the country, and has been renowned internationally for its big game fishing since American author Zane Grey publicized it in the 1930s. It is 60 kilometers, 37 miles, northwest of the city of Whangarei. Cape Reinga, at the northern tip of the country, is about 210 kilometers, 130 miles, by road further to the northwest. The bay itself is an irregularly shaped 16 kilometers, 10 miles, wide, 260 square kilometers, 100 square miles, drowned valley system and a natural harbor. It contains 144 islands, of which the largest is Urupakapuka, and numerous peninsulas and inlets. The three largest inlets are Waikari Inlet in the south, and Kerikeri and Te Puna, Mango Nui, inlets in the northwest. The Pururua Peninsula, north of Te Puna Inlet, separates the northwestern part of the bay from the Pacific Ocean, and Cape Brett Peninsula extends 10 kilometers, 6 miles, into the ocean at the eastern end of the bay. The biggest town is Kerikeri, followed by Paihia. New Zealand Bay Island is one of the most beautiful bays in the world and is an ideal place to visit for tourists when visiting the beautiful country of New Zealand. The bay has many beautiful sparkling white sand beaches that fascinate people. The bay is also home to species such as whales, dolphins, swordfish, penguins, etc. Kotor. The Bay of Kotor is a winding bay of the Adriatic Sea in southwestern Montenegro and the region of Montenegro concentrated around the bay. It is also the southernmost part of the historical region of Dalmatia. At the entrance to the bay there is Prevlaka, a small peninsula in southern Croatia. The bay has been inhabited since antiquity. Its well-preserved medieval towns of Kotor, Rizan, Tivat, Perast, Prkanj and Herceg Novi, along with their natural surroundings, are major tourist attractions. The natural and cultural historical region of Kotor was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. Its numerous Orthodox and Catholic churches and monasteries attract numerous religious pilgrims and other visitors. The bay is about 28 kilometers, 17 miles, long with a shoreline extending 107.3 kilometers, 66.7 miles. It is surrounded by two massifs of the Dinaric Alps, the Orion Mountains to the west, and the Lovejen Mountains to the east, the narrowest section of the bay. The 2,300-meter, 7,500 feet, long Verage Strait, is only 340 meters, 1,120 feet, wide at its narrowest point. The bay is composed of several smaller broad bays, united by narrower channels. The bay is a ria of the vanished Bokal River, which used to flow from the high mountain plateaus of Mount Orion. Guanabara. Guanabara is a famous bay in Brazil, with timeless charm and romance. For those who love pristine, quiet seascapes, this is an ideal choice. The surrounding natural landscape, long white sand beaches, and majestic mountains have captivated countless tourists from near and far. A must-see attraction is Paradise Bay just north of Le Maire Strait, famous for its Mammoth Glacier. This beautiful bay is surrounded by icebergs, broken pieces of ice floating on the water in many different sizes. When the weather is nice, the sun shines on the ice. Visitors will be overwhelmed by the scenery. Like being lost in a fairyland. Guanabara Bay is home to many types of whales and penguins, and seals in large numbers. Surrounded by tropical forests, towering mountains and stunning beaches, Rio de Janeiro's Guanabara Bay is one of the most fascinating attractions in the world. From above you can see Sugarloaf Mountain or Xavier on Corcovado Mountain. Garamendi Bay is a beautiful bay with many wild and mysterious natural landscapes. The long coastline with sparkling golden sand and colorful rocks will captivate you. Captivate people's hearts. Garamendi Bay is a suitable place for tourists who love to explore and adventure. Thank you for watching the SQN Top 10 ranking program. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like, and share this program for many people to know. See you again in next video. Thank you very much.